Alright, let's go. Angry Birds. The movie. I'm sure you know what the original games are all about. You shoot birds from a slingshot to destroy some hardworking pigs' architectural masterpieces. It was made in a country significantly happier than I am right now and made a big splash. There is no denying the cultural impact of these birds on society. We love the characters, we love the colors, we love the enemies, we love the gameplay, we love the easy adaptability, and most of all, the gratuitous cartoon violence.
You just got coconut mold.
Given this kind of success, you are no doubt going to find your franchise in the hands of greedy corporate film studios who want your big dragon character voiced by Jack Black of all people.
So don't waste your time trying to make anything cool or pure or awesome, because the man's just going to call you a fat, washed-up loser and crush your soul. So do yourselves a favor and just give up!
For Angry Birds, that greedy corporate studio was none other than Sony Pictures Animation. Yeah, those fuckers. Turned friends, of course. The end product was not good. The Angry Birds movie is certainly not the worst Sony movie, but it's definitely not the best. It's just such a bland, boring, and unfinished kids movie, to the point where it doesn't even feel like it's actually trying to tell jokes.
You must be so disappointed in yourself for being this late.
Oh, no. I'm not late. Look at the time. See, the order said before noon.
Okay, now you're late.
Ever since late 2018, Sony Animation really stepped up their game with animation classics, but this was released in 2016, 1 year before Sony's Year of God. You thought the Emoji Movie was the worst of it? The Surf's Up sequel was released the exact same year, and some are finally catching on to the fact that it's arguably worse. Oh god! Oh yeah, it also made a lot of money, so of course it's getting a sequel. That sequel, released in 2019, was aptly titled The Angry Birds Movie Dose, if you wish. I guess it's kind of weird of me to review a movie based on a video game rather than reviewing that video game, which is what I usually do, because in all honesty, this movie, even more so than the first Angry Birds movie, has little to do with the actual games. I think it's also important to bring up the marketing, because the box office receipts for the sequel were not kind, especially in comparison to the first film. Even the budget was lowered for some reason, probably because they gave more creative control to Thurop Van Orman, the director. Wait, the creator of Cartoon Network's Flapjack? Okay, set your fears aside, everyone. We are in great hands, ladies and gentlemen. Also, the trailers for the sequel made it out to be like it was a carbon copy of the first movie. Sony, get your fucking trailers right. Because not only does the sequel differentiate itself from the original to a T, but, and I was shocked too when I found this out, it was actually awesome.
You've been hoodwinked, baby!
Obviously, this movie isn't flawless, and it's not even the best Sony animation movie. Let's get into its problems.
Occasionally, the humor isn't that good. What's most egregious is how they play some bad jokes right after some of the really good ones.
Having a good time.
It's time to stop!
There was also a recurring joke in which the bomb character eats pig snot. Like, no. Also, why is the villain redeemed at the end of the movie? I mean, I get that she was heartbroken after her soon-to-be husband abandoned her, but how does she act on it exactly? Easy, she becomes a Nazi who plunders other people's land and destroys other people's property so she can make her own amusement parks. Doesn't that make sense? Even in your strictly comedic movie, don't you think your main conflict should at least make sense on some level? I'll give the film this. I was sad when she was sad. So that's a plus, I guess. The climax also went on for a little too long and got carried away with its own randomness. And yeah, that's it. That is literally all the problems I have with this movie. Now, let's talk about what makes the Angry Birds movie 2 the GOAT.
So let's do this thing! FBI, open up!
Okay, you all know how much I love the first movie's sense of humor, but this is gonna sound crazy. The second one is one of the funniest Sony animation movies, period. I really mean that. You see, kids, Thurop Van Orman has a very good sense of humor, and that is showcased throughout the entirety of the movie. Remember that scene I showed you earlier? That joke is stupid, but the reason it works is because it's executed very well. There's a clear sense of direction behind it. Same goes with this scene.
You can do this, Bob. Just take him out. Just take him out! Thanks for taking us out, man!
In spite of a few misses, this movie is a comedic riot. Even some of the unfunny characters from the first movie are funny now, so yay! Even the slapstick and physical humor are also very funny in this movie. I mean, damn! Not only is it just funny to look at in general, but I love the character designs. They're all so colorful and pretty. I mean, the main villain, Zeta, looks like a Sesame Street reject. No wonder she was heartbroken. That was a joke, Big Burger. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. It was all a joke. Please stop. Crumbs! So yeah, it turns out that this movie is really funny and really fun, but is that all it has? Well, not exactly. You see, at the center of all of its humor, there's an emotional core behind it. I don't want to brag, but I was kind of moved. The core themes of this movie revolve around insecurity, isolation, loneliness, abandonment, and struggling to find stability. In the first movie, the main character, Red, was always the angry outsider who had no friends and eventually becomes the hero who saves the day in the end. And by that, I mean he essentially invents the Angry Birds video game. Oh goody! So all's well that ends well, right? Well, the sequel surprisingly takes these themes and advances them, much like how Toy Story 2 took the ideas from the first movie and expanded upon them in new compelling ways. In the sequel, Red is at first living the high life with his new friends, protecting their island from the dirty pigs, but when the pigs offer a truce, Red's usefulness and heroism is tested by the people who used to look up to him, leading him to a state of depression. It's not like the townspeople are now big meanie heads again like in the first film, but they just don't understand the point of having him around anymore. Kind of like how VHS tapes are replaced by DVDs, you know what I mean? When the pigs, birds, and him finally join forces to defeat the common threat, Zeta, he is very hesitant to allow King Leonard and his goodies into the spotlight. Even though Leonard did bring that awesome sub, am I right? He even fears that his friends are going to get all the credit, and does everything in his power to stay in absolute control, even at the cost of losing his friends' approval of him. Meanwhile, Zeta also has her own little arc, starting off feeling happy when in love with sexy Peter Dinklage Eagle, but then feeling utterly heartbroken after he leaves her. Then she resorts to destroying others' lives to make herself feel better with a little girl eagle who is supposedly her assistant by the beginning of the movie, but is then revealed to be Peter Dinklage Eagle's abandoned daughter? What?
Oh my God! What is wrong with you?
And at that moment, Peter Dinklage Eagle realizes the error of his ways due to the lack of responsibility he's been taking, and later redeems himself in the eyes of both of them by saving his daughter. Despite Zeta's initial resistance, she realizes he still loves her despite his insecurities. We all have an ego that we want to protect, but it leads us to immature actions that goes against moral codes and what our friends see in us, which is the best of us. This doesn't make Red and Zeta unlikable, aside from the fact that she abuses her workers. Quite the opposite. They're relatable. The rest of the movie is really fun regardless, but it doesn't sugarcoat these mature themes to young kids. Something that a true cinematic auteur like Thurop Van Orman truly gets. And he's just a really fun guy in general. At the end of it all, Zeta reunites with the sexy Peter Dinklage Eagle, and Red eventually learns to share the spotlight with his friends, demonstrating the value of teamwork and the importance of friendship. If we can all cooperate together in regards to a common goal, but also treat each other with the respect and kindness we deserve, then we will get far. Very far. And that is why The Angry Birds Movie 2 is a movie for both kids and adults. A classic that transcends the animation medium. A true challenge to art house films and architectural masterpieces. A film that outshines the rest of Sony Picture Animation's catalog to become the greatest animated film ever made. I can't keep this up for much longer. Let's just get to the concluding thoughts. So yeah, I watched Angry Birds Movie 2. It was really great. I laughed, and you should watch it too, and you should laugh too. You can purchase it on Hulu for a premium subscription. Yeah, it's the only place you can watch it on. Yeah, okay, bye.